Welcome to the Barber Unleashed franchise. This is the cover for Barber Unleashed #1, titled Fetish Babies. The original title of the franchise, except the vanilla world struggled with handling such a provocative title, and some people got the theme wrong, so it was updated to Barber Unleashed back in 2019. This is a story of a young woman's journey through the New York City fetish underground after being home in a small town was just not the life for her, as she had her life used against her by her own sister and was worried that she would get her mayor of a father in trouble for being different. And it is okay to be curious. There's nothing wrong with that. But as she gets to New York City, she finds herself getting into some trouble as she becomes someone's prey. But did she like it at first? How did things escalate so quickly that at the end of this interaction, she felt like her actual connection to her kinks, compellers, and fetish had been stolen? Which led us to Aftermath, the second issue, which picks up a little time after the last episode or issue, and we explain what's happened since that. This is a compelling story that is taught in unique ways. In issue 1, as you notice, she was writing a blog and we were seeing her mental images. In this second one, she's actually able to break the fourth wall and take us to an actual class at the now closed Paddles location. This is educational in and out. While we're following this fictional character, it doesn't mean that the education is fictional. As a matter of fact, we're using fictional characters to make people feel comfortable. However, real human beings from the New York City Fetish Underground shows up and shows the world exactly the things they need to know about the kinky climate and the kinky underground, the lifestyle that is full of kinks, compellers, and fetish. As we can see, we catch up with the end of the other story and we find out what happened to Barbara and had led her to feel as though she was out of options and no one cared, until she realized something, that finding a mentor could help her regain her connection to her kinks, her compellers, her fetishes. And as you guys can see, we put in a lot of information for people to learn from in the comic books themselves. This wasn't just about entertainment. This was an invitation for vanilla people and kink people alike to learn through comic books. We talked about consent. We talked even about the safety system we now know as the red light, green light, BDSM safety color system. And then finally we had mentor search. And as you can see, we had to black out some of the art because if we showed it, we'd get a violation, even though it's just a butt. But butts are apparently powerful for TikTok. In Mentor Search, she tries to track down who she believes is her savior that made the experiences of the first issue in Fetish Babies not worse by his insistence of injecting himself. And that's something you really shouldn't do, but he knew Barbara needed him. And so he interfered, and she's now searching for him. And she thinks she can find him at a Halloween party in New York City, where she runs into none other than the New York City Fetish Tribe's Powder, a real human being that gets to steer our character and set her on a road of reconnection to her kinks, compellers, and fetishes. She runs into Bruce, and they have a conversation that leads to negotiation that leads to building boundaries, and consent is achieved by both parties by the end of the issue, which leads us to the BDSM survey. This was the first attempt we had at making a guide, a pamphlet for dynamics, a way for people to connect and to understand themselves. Very proud of this. While it's out of print, we have no intention of not making it available in PDF. As a matter of fact, while all these other comics are actually for sale, the BDSM survey is now something we give away for free. This is early work, so we wanted to give back to the community and to give back to the lifestyle. This is hopefully going to keep people safe by allowing them to explore what they like and also make it very clear to their partners what their boundaries are, what they expect, using things like new. This can be something very powerful. By the way, new is the acronym for needs, expectations, and wants. So you can show your partner what you need, what your expectations are, and what do you want. And then we give you safety tips. We talk about the red light, green light system. We even talk about mistakes that can be overcome. We give a form that can be filled out by the both of you. And it was our first stab at making a Kinktionary in the very first BDSM survey release. However, since then, we have moved on to something a little more precise. This is meant to be a starting guide for a dynamic. This is the Desire Index, which covers what consent is. And while very much part of the Barbara Unleashed franchise, this was our first step into going absolutely nonfiction. We did use parts of the Barbara Unleashed, but we also kind of started to step back. The reason for this is we felt as though people felt that the fictional character kind of made them weary of what the actual factual information was, while everything in Barbara Unleashed was actually factual when it came to the BDSM and alternative lifestyle. It was just fictional characters telling you. Now, since then, we've advanced and we're beginning to move towards nonfiction educational tools, but we'll also still offer this, as it's a good way to get someone invited and invested into this. And you can see we had Do Not Rush the Process, which is something important. The poo-poo platter of BDSM to go over with a partner. After play confessions, something people don't do enough is talk about play. Don't do this during aftercare. Do it after play has wrapped up. Aftercare is part of play. And make sure that you guys spend some time checking out kinkforall.site. It is the only .site you'll need for Kinky Knowledge, Education, and BDSM Lifestyle Information with no cover charge. All the books that you have seen listed are available, and just for you guys. Again, the BDSM survey will give you for free. If you're looking for a PDF offer, we will give you the entire series, the 5 books, for just $5. 5 PDFs, $1 each, and we'll even throw in the Monsters book, which is about the classic universal monsters that aren't monsters, but they're actually human beings with genetic disorders. And believe it or not, I was thinking about 50 Shades of Grey on the silver screen when I created this. Now on Kickstarter, we'll give you the entire thing for $5. If you're looking for printed versions, we have a limited amount still left, so we're happy to get them to you. We know you have to pay for shipping, so we're going to do the first 3 issues and the Desire Index for you for just $20 plus shipping. Shipping will be determined on where you're from. Hopefully we can get it out in media mail and get it there for you with not too much expense, but we're going to cut the price a bit and give you even a copy of the original release of Fetish Baby. So that'll be 5 books for $20 plus shipping. If you're interested, just send us a message. And if you're wondering how to get us a message, it's actually rather simple. On our site, you can easily find the email to send. It's in our drop-down menu. So go to kinkforall.site and just send me an email, send me a message on any of the social medias you might have seen this, and I'll be happy to work with you and get you these books sent to you, either in your inbox or in your mailbox. And remember, we can hurt each other, so having the right information is so important. And that's why in this series we even included a diagram for you to understand areas of concerns and where and what not to do. And we've expanded this since actually making this version because it's that important.